Anushka, welcome again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Anushka, you
so
are
much.
doing wonderful work for students back home. Especially those who are interested to pursue their higher education in the fields of biomedical, biotechnical, biotech,
Yeah.
and biochemistry and all. So recently, I was going through one of your posts on LinkedIn where you presented a poster in some of the university, I think. So I would
Yeah,
like
it
to
was a
start my
conference and
yeah.
yeah.
I'll start from there only, Anushka. Please tell us, you presently are doing your PhD in Texas Tech University and you're a direct PhD candidate in biotechnology. So, Anushka, please tell us about these kind of conferences. At what stage of your PhD you got this opportunity to go for conference, and what are these opportunities?
Okay, so just to let the audience know, I'm Anushka Patil and I'm a first year, first semester PhD student at Texas Tech University. So recently I came across an advertisement for a conference called Drosophila Midwest Conference. So that is a conference which is held every year in the United States. So every year I think it's held in different states or different places. So this year it was in Monticello, which is in the state of Illinois. So I just came across the advertisement and we just decided to submit our abstract. So to attend a conference, we first need to submit them our abstract or the abstract of a research that we are doing. And once the abstract is accepted, like once they accept our abstract, then we can proceed further for the presentation and stuff. So our abstract got accepted by the conference people. Then they had some specifications for the poster. So there were two major things in the conference. Either you present a poster or you give a presentation or you give a talk basically. So you share a PowerPoint presentation with all of the audience or the researchers that are present in a conference room. And then you present your research or the work that you're doing inside your lab. So we were majorly focusing on poster presentation since we are just in the first year of our PhD. We did not have much data as such, so we decided to present just a poster for the conference. So yeah, and I attended that conference in 16th and 17th November. Also, my conference, it was fully funded, fully covered by my university and my PI's funding. It was through my PI's funding and some combined funds from the university. So we were four lab mates in total from our lab who attended the conference. So it was
Okay.
specifically for researchers who are interested in working with Drosophila, which is a fruit fly. So we use that as a model organism to study various diseases like cancer, neurodegeneration, etc. So
Okay, Anushka, now on the basis of what you said, I have a couple of quick, queries to ask.
yeah.
One is like,
Hmm.
how do you decide? Because in my opinion, there will be so many such kind of conferences, entire year.
Right.
Decide कहाँ जाना है, कहाँ नहीं जाना है.
So you can just see their previous, I mean, on Google, you can just search their previous, like how they conducted their previous conferences and who all have attended. Like, are there any experienced professors or who are doing great in their research? Have they attended the conferences or your PI? So my PI, he has a lot of connections. So he knows a lot of professors who work in this field of neurodegenerative diseases. So he gets some idea through them as well. And yeah, you are right. We have many conferences. So conferences also has parts. There are some international conferences, there are regional conferences, and there are national conferences. So I think this was a national conference which was held in the United States. So it depends on the also it depends on the organizers. Who are the organizers? Are they from reputed universities or are they really doing great research? So there are various parameters.
Hmm. Typically, Anushka, you are still in the first semester of your PhD, and
Yes.
typically, how many conferences PhD scholar attends? And as you said, there are two kind of it:
Okay.
poster presentation as well as presenting also.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it depends on university to university. It can change because since you have to go for a conference, you need funding.
Mm.
So there are a lot of considerations to like there are various parameters to consider. So I think in our university, usually students go or visit to these conferences at least once or twice a year. So,
Mm.
but it depends on the funding or the funding from your PI or your graduate
Mm.
school or your department.
And who gives funding? Your PI, which I understand is primary investigator, or your professor or your guide?
Principal, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a principal investigator. That means your professor only, right?
yeah, professor.
Okay, so he gives from his research fund or research group fund, or it's a graduate school.
So sometimes it is a combined funding. It comes, half of your money comes from graduate school or maybe your department, or there are various committees or associations in our graduate school. So they can
Mhm.
also fund you. Sometimes you have to apply,
Mhm.
or like your PI can also fund you, or maybe it can be a combined
Mhm.
fund. So
So as what I understand is you are in Texas Tech University, presently Texas
yeah,
State. So where did you present your this thing? You went to another state?
yeah, it was in state of Illinois,
So you must
another
have
state.
flown to that place. So this entire
Yes, yes.
airfare and
I
everything was
booked a
paid.
flight. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Okay. And now, Anushka, coming to second part, what is the advantage of poster presentation? Why you do it? And is it done only in the PhD, or do you think it can be done in undergrad also, like students who are in BTech and they are interested for research further, they can go for such things, and master
Hmm.
students also?
Actually, the conference where I went, so there were many undergrads who were presenting the poster. So it's not
Okay.
just PhD students. It can
Mm.
be PhD, it can be postdocs. Some of the professors, like the new faculty members, they were
Mm.
also presenting the poster. So it's
Mm.
not always students who are presenting. So
Mm.
basically, through poster is just a medium to showcase your research in
Mhm.
just a one piece of paper. So uh, you are conveying your research or you're sharing your research to get some feedback from maybe some experienced professors. They come to visit your poster, they'll ask you some questions, and maybe they
Mm.
can give you some constructive feedback, or maybe they can tell you where are you going wrong, or
Mm.
should you take a different path, or is there something he can provide you as a help which can make your research better, go in a
Mm.
better direction. So that can be one of the advantage. Also sometimes you're struggling with some part of your research, maybe your experiment is not working. So
Mhm.
and if you get an idea of doing it in some other way by seeing some other students poster, maybe you come across a novel method to do your experiment, so that is also an advantage. So also one more advantage is that you can make some good connections, networking. You can build your connections, and you can talk to various professors, get to know how their lab works, get to know their students approach for the experiments or the research. So yeah, these are some advantages of
Okay. So
attending.
as you said, collaboration and peers and professors interaction, that you get opportunity.
Yeah.
You also get opportunity, Anushka, to listen to others, because as you said, there are two activities going on parallelly and people are speaking. And I'm very sure very senior professors or researchers or industry people must also be coming there for presenting. So here you are standing with your poster. Do you get opportunity to
Oh
listen to
no,
them
it's
also?
not parallel thing. So there are there was a schedule. So in the morning they conducted presentations. In that presentation, it was for 4 to 5 hours, and some 4 to 5 graduate students which were in the final year, so they were senior. They were presenting their work in a conference room, and we had a break after their presentations, and
Mhm.
then we were asked to present our posters in a separate room. So that's
Yeah.
not simultaneously.
Okay.
It's like a different thing. thing.
Okay. Anushka, you were telling me, we were chatting, and you were telling me that, sir, I could meet those professors of those universities also, which I
Yeah.
applied at the time of
Yeah.
that. Please tell that to the viewers.
Yeah. Actually, there was one professor, I would not take names or
Yeah.
mention
Mm,
any. So there
mm,
was one professor. I approached him
mm,
initially through mail, but
mm,
he told that, oh, we don't have any funding, we don't have
mm,
any
mm,
vacancies for
mm,
so I'm
mm,
sorry. Then I met him and I told him that, oh, I got a position, like a graduate student
mm,
position at
mm,
Texas Tech University, and then I had a good conversation with him, like what
mm,
research am I doing now, and how
mm,
am I writing the city, how is my lab, how is my PI, and he was very happy to listen that I finally got a PhD
mm,
position.
mm,
Also, I got one positive reply from one of the universities, and I met that professor also. But by the time I got the positive reply, I had already applied to Texas Tech. So
Good. So that means a lot of meeting with the maybe very big names in your own field.
yeah,
So going for
yeah,
these things help. Okay, Anushka,
yes,
now let's tell students something about the poster, because many students keep on asking that, sir, how the poster is made, what are the typical
yeah.
components on the poster, कैसे बनाया जाता है और क्या क्या होता है इसके अंदर. So I'll request you to share your screen and tell students about that.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So this was the poster that I was I co-authored. So the main author of my poster was Rubaya. She's a lab mate. She's my lab mate, and I was the second author. So most of the data present in this poster is of hers because she is in our lab since 1 year, and she's been working so hard for this project, and I just co-authored this project. I just helped her with the formatting thing and the presentation. So the title of my poster was Metabolomic Profiling Reveals Altered Metabolism in a Drosophila melanogaster Model of PLA2G6 Associated Neurodegeneration. So our focus is on studying neurodegenerative disorders, and we are using a model organism that is Drosophila melanogaster, which is also called as a fruit fly. So the basic format of a poster is that you have a title, and on your left I had a logo of my university, and on the right, as you can see, there's a logo of the conference that I attended. The poster always starts with an abstract that is basically a summary of your whole research that you're showcasing in this poster, and it is generally not more than 250 words, so that the limit varies. It's not the set limit, but it generally is around 250 words. Then we have the introduction part. So we just introduce what are we studying. So I just introduce what is neurodegeneration and what is this PLA2G6 associated neurodegeneration, that is PLAN. It is a disease, and a majority of neurodegenerative diseases are Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. So, what defects do we see in our model organisms, which is showing the neurodegenerative disorders? I just summarized it as an introduction. And then we proceeded to the methods. So, what are the methods or what are the experiments that we are conducting for the analysis? And then I used a software called as BioRender. So, it is a software which basically will help us to we can use some icons like this or some objects or images for free, and then design and protocol according. Then we move on to our results. So what are the results that we got after doing our experiments? And these are the results in the form of graphs. So we use different softwares for producing or like reproducing our results. Then the result was actually it was in 4 to 5 sections. So till here we have our results. And then I come to the right part. So after results, we have our discussion. And then like basically the discussion will include what we noticed from our analysis of our result part. And then we have the conclusion, concluding statements and the future directions or the future experiments that we can further do. And then acknowledgement of for our funding resources, and then the contact information for the person who presented the poster, and lastly we have all our references that we use. And the template, we used it from the software called BioRender. It is a famous software for the professionals who are working in biotechnology field. You can access various objects or templates for posters or maybe your presentations for free. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Anushka, I have a couple of things to ask you from here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
is there any template on the basis of which suppose student wants to make a poster today? So is there any template for that?
Yeah, just like I told, there's a software called BioRender.
Okay.
So if you go to the software, it's free. It's free
Mm-hmm.
for some period of time, and
Mm-hmm.
then after that you have to pay. So
Okay.
as you can like as you go to the software, it will give you choices for templates for different posters. So you can just select a random template that you like.
Okay. So as I could see, like you have done some kind of research and then you are showing those things also here, maybe some kind of analytics
Yes,
you are showing. So suppose a
yes.
student is there in BTech or something and he's doing comparative analysis only of particular phenomenon. So he can also show the
Mhm.
through it through poster or something. Suppose he from the literature he has done some comparative analysis.
As in his experiment you're talking.
No, he has not done any experiment. He has not done his
Oh,
first-hand
oh, he's just
any kind of analysis, but only on the basis of the literature review, he's doing some kind of comparative analysis of particular, phenomenon or particular area, research domain.
Oh, that is very into bioinformatics part, and I'm not aware of that as of now.
Okay.
This data, as you can see on my screen, this was generated by us after doing lab experiments. So this is not
Yes.
just graph that
Mm.
you see. We have actually carried
Done it.
out lab experiments with
Mm.
flies, and then we
Mm.
have we are like quantitatively representing it using a software.
Okay.
So
So
it's
you
our
were also telling that you could have presented this orally also in front of a gathering
yes.
there. So how that is different from this? I mean, you can have a PPTs also, slides also, and you can
Yeah,
present
that
it.
is, yeah. In this case, in poster presentation, so I'll just switch on my camera.
Yeah.
So yeah, in poster presentation, we have these posters that we present, but in the talks, so that is basically called as talks. And in the talks, we are generally there's a projector, big projector, and on that projector you share your PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
So in that you include all of your data that you have
Mhm.
till now, or your research that you have till now, and then you
Mhm.
explain it to the audience, and then they ask you counter question.
No, that is okay. But my question to you was like, could you not have made PowerPoint presentation on the basis of the data which you have submitted in the poster and presented there?
Oh, oh no, we could have made actually, but since this was our very first beginning and very first time, we chose to present a poster.
Presented. So what
Yeah.
kind of typical questions were asked by the audience there? Maybe peers or maybe professors. I'm sure somebody must have approached you and asked you something.
Yeah, the typical questions were on like future directions. What are your future planning? How are you going to carry out the mitochondrial? I mean, I am studying on the mitochondrial dysfunction aspect. So, what are some experiments that you're going to carry out for looking at the mitochondrial dysfunction aspect. So we are also going to use a microscopy called TEM, transmission electron microscopy. So how is that process? How are you planning to do future experiments? So these were like the major questions. And we had some questions from the pathways analysis thing. So that was a technical question which they asked, like which software did you use? How did you carry out the whole process? So,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So this poster presentation, Anushka, as you proceed in your PhD forward, will you resort to this poster presentation later on also, or you will go for conferences and presentations only? So how it
no,
goes?
we'll keep updating the poster. So I'll just go on adding most important data that I have from my research. I'll just keep on updating the poster.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah,
So is there anything like you can present poster only in the first year of your PhD, not in the last year of your PhD, something like that?
no. There's no such criteria. It's not
Okay.
like,
So whenever you feel like sharing, you can do that, right?
yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I think we have more or less discussed everything related to poster presentation, Anushka. Anything which I missed and you want to add to that?
Uh, I think we have covered all of the aspects. But I mean, it was an amazing experience to attend a conference.
Mhm.
So one more thing I would like to add is I am a very shy person.
Mhm.
I am like antisocial. I don't talk to people much, but I just learned how to talk to people by attending the conference,
Good.
especially American professors,
Mhm.
understanding their accents and their, so I have to understand their research with their accent. So that is a difficult thing, but I'm still learning, and it has like really improved my confidence because there were so many great professors in front of whom we were responsible to present this. So it
Mhm.
increases your, it boosts your confidence. So that is a plus point.
आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है, आपका नेटवर्किंग बढ़ता है,
Yeah,
आपका
yeah.
जो कम्युनिकेशन बढ़ता है, यू अडेप्ट योरसेल्फ इन दोज काइंड ऑफ सेटअप्स
Hmm.
एंड आप बाकी लोगों से मिलते हो, आप ये लर्न करते हो कि वो लोग क्या काम कर रहे हैं और आपको
Yeah,
लोग सजेशंस देते
exactly.
हैं जो जेन्युइन सजेशंस होते हैं और वो आपकी आगे की जर्नी में आपको बहुत हेल्पफुल हो सकते हैं
Yeah,
and these are some of the advantages which poster presentation can offer you, right Anushka? That's how we
yeah,
can
yes,
summarize this all.
absolutely. Also during presentations,
Mm.
like you are trained how to take constructive criticism. So there were a lot of professors who will go against your research or they'll
Okay,
question your
straight
research. But
straight
yeah,
बोलेंगे कि
you
ये
have
है.
to learn that skill how to accept constructive criticism. So that is also a good thing. So
Mm.
yeah,
वंडरफुल.
that's all.
बहुत बहुत इनपुट्स मिली हैं अनुष्का. एंड नाउ माय लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट व्हिच आई डू एवरी टाइम टू यू, लाइक जब ये वीडियो पब्लिश होगा तो some students may have their query, so yeah,
Yeah.
obviously I'll send you the link. And now Anushka, I'll be requesting you that if student ask you something related to this your session, you please
Mhm.
answer to
Yeah,
his query,
sure, sure.
right Anushka?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll catch you next
Thank
week
you,
again.
sir.